Would you believe that weapons designed over 100 years ago are being used today on one of the world's most high-tech battlefields? In the war between Russia and Ukraine, so-called obsolete weapons are making a powerful comeback and in some cases outperforming modern gear. Stay with me, because what you're about to see will change the way you think about war, technology, and strategy. While the media focuses on kamikaze drones and hypersonic missiles, a very different kind of warfare is unfolding, one that relies on rifles, machine guns, and submachine guns from past generations. Today, we'll explore 6 vintage weapons making a shocking return to the Ukrainian battlefield and why they're proving surprisingly effective in modern combat. Let's start with the legendary Maxim Machine Gun. Designed in 1910, it served in 2 world wars, and now, over a century later, it's back in Ukrainian trenches. Why? Its water cooling system allows it to fire for extended periods without overheating, a huge tactical advantage in defensive positions. Even more impressive, Ukrainians have retrofitted these century-old guns with modern optics, suppressors, and even remote firing systems. A perfect blend of old-world durability and 21st century innovation. Next up, the Mosin Nagant rifle, first manufactured in 1891. That's right, 1891. This bolt-action rifle has recently been seen in the hands of Russian infantry. The reason? A critical shortage of modern firearms. Despite its age, the Mosin is still deadly accurate at long range, proving that in a drawn-out war, even relics can be called back into service. Moving forward in time, we have the Chinese Type 56-1, a variant of the iconic AK. These rifles are turning up in the hands of Russian forces, often from black market sources or undisclosed allies. This points to a bigger issue. The Ukraine war isn't just about tactics and territory, it's about geopolitics, arms smuggling, and covert support from nations like China and Iran. And speaking of covert support, enter the Type 73, a North Korean machine gun built in the 1970s. It's now being used by Russian troops, a shocking development. This weapon's presence reveals just how deep Russia's supply problems go and how it's relying on isolated allies to fill the gaps, changing the strategic dynamics of the entire conflict. Now, let's look at a weapon that feels like it came out of a museum, the Gustaf M45, a Swedish submachine gun from the 1940s. Small, reliable, and simple, it's ideal for close-quarters combat and urban warfare. On the streets of Kharkiv and Donetsk, this compact classic proves that some old tools are still perfectly suited for modern missions. And now, the most surreal moment: video footage of Russian forces opening long-abandoned weapons depots in Luhansk. Inside, weapons from World War II, including the PPS-41, SKS, and other Soviet-era relics. Stored for decades, these vintage arms are being dusted off and pressed into service out of sheer necessity, a clear sign of how exhausting and resource-draining this war has become. What we're witnessing is a brutal truth of modern warfare. Victory doesn't always come from having the newest tech, but from knowing how to use whatever still works. When resources run low, even 100-year-old weapons can become game changers. This is the strange beauty and tragedy of asymmetric warfare. If you enjoyed this dive into military history and modern conflict, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos on military tech, battlefield strategy, and war analysis. And let me know in the comments, which of these vintage weapons surprised you the most?